We're back, and joining me now is Willie Brown. He's the former Democratic mayor of San Francisco. Hillary Shelton, the Washington Bureau Director and Senior Vice President for Advocacy and Policy for the NAACP. And Congressman G.K. Butterfield. He's a Democrat from North Carolina, the first vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. And Mr. Mayor, I don't know if we still call you Mr. Mayor after you've left office, but I'm going to call you Mr. Mayor. And I wonder, I look at some of the statistics we just showed there about the number of African-American senators in history, and it strikes me there's sort of a disconnect here, where if you look at the House, you've got like 45 African-American members of the House right now, about 10% of the House, a little more than 10%. And in all of history, just as we say, nine black senators, it seems to me there's a problem, a pipeline problem here, with getting African-Americans who are sort of in the political game and in position to move up. In the House, they're not getting chances to run for the Senate or even for the governorship. What do you think that disconnect is all about?
Well, that disconnect is all about racism, basically, in America, plus the absence of opportunities in various states where the population should be able to be supportive. The political parties and the resources have just not been there behind African-American candidates.
Well, Congressman Butterfield, I wonder if you can elaborate on that a little bit, because I think you've been in the House now for close to a decade. I wonder what your experience is, because you represent, and I've noticed this too, just in covering politics. It tends to be the sort of the donor class when you talk to the donor class of the Democratic Party, and they're looking at statewide openings. A lot of times they look at candidates from districts like yours, which are sort of voting rights districts with heavily African American populations, and they will sort of say, we don't think candidates from these districts can win statewide. They say the districts are too liberal. They say the districts are not representative of statewide population. They say in many cases the districts aren't economically prosperous. The candidates don't have a lot of money. Is that something you found, those attitudes? Have you come up against those attitudes in sort of the state political establishment in North Carolina?
Well, thank you, Steve. It is true that I represent a voting rights district in eastern North Carolina. The district was created as a result of litigation under the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And so we have two African-American members of Congress from North Carolina, Congressman Mel Watt and myself. But let me thank you for recognizing Senator Cory Booker. I was on the Senate floor today when Senator Booker took the oath of office. It was certainly an historic moment, and congratulations go out to the people of New Jersey.
And Hillary, what would you say, if we're looking at that disconnect we're talking about, what is the key for, let's say, an ambitious African-American politician right now, maybe who is a member of Congress, maybe who is a state legislator, who is looking to make that jump to the statewide level, to run for the Senate or to run for governor? Because we say the track record for African-Americans at the gubernatorial level, really no different than the senatorial level. What is the advice to a candidate? How do you sort of break through, and what needs to change to make those candidates more viable in the eyes of sort of the political establishment?
Well, the opportunity to bring forth their ideas. One of the biggest challenges in times gone by is that we didn't have a lot